Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
All right, let's take it from the top again. Places. Action.
Well, let's see. We have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You going to be the coach, too?
Yes.
And you know the fellow's name?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes.
Join us for another voyage back in time on Classic Radio Rewind. From adventures to westerns, from comedy to sci-fi, this is your ticket to Theater of the Mind. Without any further ado, here's your host for Classic Radio Rewind, Barry Slinker.
Thank you, Dex Rowe, and welcome to this week's Classic Radio Rewind. I'm Barry Slinker, and we're back with another 60 minutes of the golden age of radio. So sit back and relax, because coming up later, we'll hear from the Adventures of Phillip Marlowe from 1949. But we're going to get started with an episode from Boston Blackie starring Chester Morris from 1944. In this episode, Blackie tangles with a gang of meat truck hijackers. From July 21st, 1944, this is Boston Blackie with Black Market Blackie. It's Classic Radio Rewind, episode number 60, brought to you by the WOTR Radio Network.
10 p.m. BULOVA Boulevard Watch Time. For supreme accuracy, expert design, and outstanding value, choose a Boulevard, masterpiece of fine watchmaking. WEAF, New York.
Lever Brothers, makers of Rinso, R-I-N-S-O, Soapy Rich Rinso, presents Boston Blackie, starring Chester Morris.
Step on it, Steve.
I got my foot on the floor now.
You gotta do something, then we'll never lose that car that's chasing us.
Don't talk. Lean out and see if you can hit a tire.
Okay.
Well?
Missed. Hey, watch that curve.
I'll take care of the driving. Try it again.
Try and hold this bus steady, will you?
I'm doing the best I can. I've been fighting this wheel for 20 minutes. Now, after I swing around that next curve, I'll slow up. Try and get that tire again.
Okay. Here goes. I got her, Steve. She's heading right for the telegraph pole. What a crack up. Them plainclothes cops in that car ain't gonna interrupt another one of our hijack jobs.
Plainclothes cops? Those ain't no cops. The driver of the car that just wrapped around the telegraph pole is Boston Blackie.
In a moment, we'll meet Boston Blackie, enemy to those who make him an enemy, friend to those who have no friend. But first, a fashion note for summer. The spotlight is certainly on cotton, and that's not just my idea. I was looking through a couple of those fancy fashion magazines, and every page had something about crisp, colorful cotton dresses, cotton evening things, daytime dresses, and so on. Well, speaking from the man's point of view, I'm for it. Those printed cottons are certainly mighty pretty. And speaking from the Soapy Rich Rinso's point of view, it's easy as a breeze to keep them crisp and colorful. Rinso's rich suds are gentle and safe for washable colors. Leave their bright colors gay and sparkling week after week. And it's so easy to do a Rinso wash. A short soaking, a few quick finger rubs on extra soiled places, and your clothes are ready to rinse. Really Rinso white and Rinso bright, too. So next wash day, be sure you have Rinso on hand to give you a hand. And now, here is Chester Morris as Boston Blackie.
Tell me, Blackie, how does your wrist feel, huh?
Oh, just a slight sprain, Shorty. But we're lucky. We might have been killed when those thugs got our front tire last night. I thought for a moment we were killed.
Hey, Blackie, let's stay up here in your apartment and mind our own business for a while, huh? At least until I get over that shaking up I got you.
Well, we weren't looking for trouble. We were just driving along and...
Yeah. I know. Always that and. That's what gets us into more jams.
All right, so we went for a drive. Nothing unusual in that?
No, but why'd you have to notice that big sedan was parked right in front of a truck and two guys were holding up the driver?
Well, I always feel sorry sorry for the guy on the other end of a gun.
Yeah, but listen, boy, if you want to listen
Blackie. You too, Shorty. Up high, way up.
Yeah, all right.
I cover, Mike.
Okay.
So the crack-up didn't kill you guys, huh? The boss sent us to find out. You have more lives than a cat, Blackie.
Yes, I've got 10.
And that means you rats better look out. Hey, that's good, ain't it, Blackie?
It's wonderful, Shorty. Say, what are you mugs doing here?
The boss didn't like the idea of you interfering with that hijack job last night.
Oh, well, I don't like the idea of having my car wrecked either, Stooge.
We ain't interested in what you like. We got a pretty good setup, Blackie.
Well, I'm so glad. That's fine.
Yeah, we got a lot of meat tied up, and we're getting good prices for it.
Well, what do you want me to see me about? What's the catch?
The boss wants to know if you want in on the racket.
What?
Yeah. See, he don't want no more interference from you. That's the catch.
Oh, black market, huh? Well, if I say no, what does the boss say?
He says we should give you a little treatment.
Oh, and by the way, who is your boss?
Never mind.
Well, how do I know your boss is a reasonable guy?
Hey, where you going?
Now, don't be scared, Stooge. You know, I always talk when I'm thinking. After all, you're the one that's got the gun.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, boys, I finished thinking. I guess I have no choice, huh? Well, tell the boss I'll go along with him.
Now you're talking sense.
Yeah, well, I guess that makes us partners, huh, boys? Say, how about a little drink on that?
Yeah, I'll take a snort.
Fine. I'm sorry. All I've got is bourbon.
That's okay with me.
Uh-huh. With soda?
Yeah.
Well, come on, boys. I'll build you a couple. Say when, Steve.
When? Look, I gotta hold this gun on you, Blackie. It ain't that I'm impolite. It's just that I'm careful.
You flatter me. How much soda?
Gee, I never had it with soda before.
Really? You haven't? Well, you're going to get it.
All right, give it.
All right, Shorty, I'll take care of this one.
Okay, boss. Okay, I got his gun.
Why, you...
All right, take it easy, Steve. Now, cut out the nonsense. I've got your gun. Now, be a good boy. You wanted an answer for your boss, huh? Well, you have it. Now, get out of here. And in the future, boys, remember, never drink during business hours.
Say, boss, did you know that it was 103 in needles yesterday?
That's an enlightening breakfast conversation, Shorty.
Thanks.
Never mind, I'll get it.
Boston Blackie?
That's right.
Sorry to disturb you so early in the morning.
Well, won't you come in?
Thank you.
Shorty, another cup of coffee for Miss,
Parker. June Parker.
Well, Miss Parker, you're a charming eye-opener for so early in the morning.
Boston Blackie, I need your help.
And I'm glad to know you, too.
As a matter of fact, you've already helped me.
I have?
Mm-hmm. My driver tells me you helped one of my trucks get through the other night.
One of your trucks?
Yes.
Well, I don't quite understand.
This may sound a little strange to you, but I have a ranch and I raise stock.
Yes?
I've sold a lot of cattle, only I can't deliver it to my customers.
Oh, I see. And your trucks are being hijacked by that black market gang, huh?
Yes. That's why I came to you. Will you help me get them through?
You know, that's the second offer to go in the meat business that I've had in the last 24 hours. Why don't you go to the police, Miss Parker? I'm sure Inspector Faraday would be glad to give you protection.
I've gone to the police, but my trucks still aren't getting through.
Well, you're really in a jam. Those black market thugs are worse than any racketeers we've ever had in this country.
I've been offered any amount if I'd sell to the black market, but I won't, not for anything.
Of course you won't.
Then you'll help me?
Now, look, Miss Parker, it isn't only helping you, it's helping me. It's helping everybody. The black market is one of the biggest things we've ever been up against. And you're fighting that black market. You know, you're the kind of a girl who's helping win this war.
Coffee's ready, boss.
Forget the coffee, Shorty. We've got a job to do. The biggest job we've ever done.
That's you, Matthews?
Yes, Inspector.
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute. Got to finish writing this letter. Hey, Matthews, how do you spell stupidity?
F-A-R-A-D-A-Y.
F-A-R... Hey, what? Oh, it's you, Blackie. I should have known. Matthews can't spell. All right, what do you want here?
Well, I don't know. What have you got here?
One of these days, we're going to have you here, in a cell.
Oh, Faraday, you're nothing but an idealist. You know, I've been lonely. You haven't been bothering me lately. What's the matter? Don't you love me anymore?
I love you anyway. I love you like poison ivy. What do you want, Blackie?
Well, Faraday, my life has been threatened. I want police protection.
You're wonderful. You want police protection, Blackie. Stop
Now, wait a minute, Faraday. I'm serious. There's a gang after me, and they're not fooling.
Poor little Blackie. I'd like to see the gang that you couldn't handle. What is this, a gag?
No, wait a minute. I'm on the level.
Blackie, you're breaking my heart. You've never been on the level with me in your life, so why should I start believing you now?
Oh, so you won't give me police protection, huh?
Don't make me laugh.
Okay, Faraday. That's all I wanted to know.
Blackie wants protection.
No! Got him, Mike. Help me get him into the car. Come on. Let's get out of here. Boston Blackie's going for a long trip.
Well, it looks as though Boston Blackie's in a pretty tight spot, but Blackie is also a pretty resourceful individual, so just wait and see what happens. You know, we used to have a nice hand-embroidered motto hung up on our wall that said, "True friends are like diamonds, precious and rare." How well that applies in wartime to the washing machine. Yes, ma'am, if you're lucky enough to have a washer, keep in mind that it's your true friend and take care of it. One way is to follow the advice of the makers of 33 leading washers and use Rinso. You see, soapy-rich Rinso gets out more dirt. And with such a short run, it's easy not only on your clothes, but on your washer. And Rinso results are something to see. All your white clothes gleaming, sparkling. Sure, Rinso white. And colors washable, Rinso bright. So be sure to put Rinso, R-I-N-S-O, right on top of tomorrow's shopping list. And now, back to Chester Morris as Boston Blackie. Well, Boston Blackie, intent on breaking up a black market meat ring, was waylaid by thugs as he was leaving police headquarters where Inspector Faraday had just refused him police protection. Blackie has been thrown into a car.
Hey, Steve, he's coming too. Must be this country air. Stop the car.
Okay, let's get this over with.
I'll take the gag out of his mouth.
Yeah, nobody can hear him out here.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I want to get my necktie back anyway. It's the best one I got. My girl gave it to me. She's a redhead. Says it matches her hair.
You know, it's too bad she ain't a brunette.
Yeah, you just don't like redheads.
Hey, never mind putting on your tie now. Leave it there in the seat and let's get this job over with. Come on, Blackie. Can you talk?
Well, what is this, the end of the line?
No. This is where we transfer.
Okay, boys. What's the score?
2-0, and you're the nothing. Blackie, can you stand up?
Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, you better stand up while you can, Blackie. You're going to be laying down for a long time.
You have a charming sense of humor.
You had a chance to join up with us, Blackie. You nixed it, and now you're getting rubbed out.
Oh, boss's orders, huh?
Yeah, and besides, it gives us a chance to get even for that soda trick yesterday.
I see.
Get over that fence, Blackie.
Say, what is this, an obstacle course?
Yeah, and you're the obstacle.
Hey, Steve. Hey, what's that over there?
Huh? Nothing. It's just a cow.
That happens to be the cow's husband, gentlemen.
Gee, a bull. Hey, if a bull sees red, he goes crazy.
What's the matter? You scared, Mike? Come on, we gotta finish our job. Okay, Blackie? Anything you want to say? Any last request?
Well, I'd like to start running, gentlemen, if you don't mind, and I'm sure you would, too.
What?
That bull's coming this way, and fast.
Hey, he's after me. He's after me! He's after me!
Thanks for the gun, Steve.
Hey, let's get out of here, will you?
Don't worry, Steve. The bull's after Mike. You see, I stuck his own red necktie in his back pocket.
Who's there?
it's me, June. Boston Blackie.
Oh, Blackie, just a minute. Well, please come in. I'm glad to see you, Blackie.
Thanks. I'd like some information, June. These gents we're up against are playing a little rough.
Oh, Blackie, what happened?
Well, I went to Faraday for protection. He didn't believe I needed it. Next thing I knew, I was tapped on the head and ended up in a cow pasture playing matador.
Blackie.
Now, look, June, all I want to know is just one thing. You told me that somebody tried to get you to sell your cattle to the black market ring. I want to know who that somebody is.
Well, I can't tell you. I don't know.
Now, if you're being afraid, don't be. I'll see that nothing happens to you, and it's also a little bit important that nothing happens to me, too. Now, look, all I want to know is who approached you on that black market deal?
Well, some men who said they represented a Mr. George Williams.
Williams? Well, who's he?
I don't know him. He has a wholesale meat plant on Johnson Street.
Yes.
But, Blackie, I've never seen him.
Shh. Quiet, June.
What's the matter?
The doorknob, it's turning.
Oh.
Now, I'll be in back of the door when it opens, but you keep on talking.
Okay. But, Blackie, I don't know whether I can go to dinner with you or not. Oh.
Okay, drop those guns. Now, drop them fast. I'm right here in back of you. Better drop your gun, too, Steve. Well, you two matadors again, huh? This is getting a little monotonous. How far did that bull chase you this morning? I'm a little fed up with you two guys. June.
Yes, Blackie.
Take the cord off those drapes. I want to tie up these two bullfighters. Then I've got to go over and see a man by the name of George Williams.
Blackie, I'm afraid
You don't have to be afraid, June. Oh, when Blackie ties them up, they stay tied. And when I get through with this, you'd better call the police and have them pick up these mugs. And I gotta work fast.
Hey, Miss Parker. You ain't gonna call no police.
What? What do you mean?
And besides, you're gonna untie us right now. Or else the boss won't like it.
You mean Mr. Williams?
No, Miss Parker. You see, Williams ain't his name. His real name is Parker. Parker, yeah. George Parker, your brother. Now, will you untie our hands?
I don't know what you're talking about, Blackie. I operate a legitimate business here. I sell only at ceiling prices.
I came up here to tell you I'm tired of being kicked around by those two mugs of yours. And also that you're going to lay off June Parker.
June Parker? Who's she?
Well, she's the girl you've been threatening. You know, the one that owns the trucks you've been hijacking. But you won't do it anymore. You see, I'm taking you with me.
You're taking me with you?
That's right. You're going to be my insurance that from now on, this black market gang of yours is unemployed.
What are you going to do with me?
What's he gonna do with you? He ain't gonna do anything with you.
Faraday, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'll bet you are.
Inspector, my secretary had the good sense to call you. And I'm glad you got here so fast.
Mm-hmm. What's Boston Blackie been up to now?
He held me here in my office at the point of a gun, Inspector. He was going to force me to go with him unless...
Unless what?
Unless I stopped selling meat at ceiling prices and went into the black market.
Now, wait a minute, Faraday. That's ridiculous. You know that can't be right.
I don't know nothing.
Oh, you know a thing or two. You're just being modest.
I'm a reputable merchant, Inspector. I've been in business for years. This Blackie person wanted me to make this plant his headquarters for illegal meat sales.
Now, Faraday, listen. He claims I pulled a gun on him. I don't even have a gun.
It was in his hand when you came in the door, Inspector.
With Blackie, that don't make any difference. He can make anything disappear.
Thanks.
Someday, I hope he goes to work on himself.
This Williams is head of a black market ring.
That's not true.
Not only that, but he's got a couple of thugs that have an obsession about my collecting old age pensions.
That's ridiculous. Please take Blackie with you, Inspector. I'll prefer charges.
Now, wait a minute, Inspector. I know I've tricked you, and we've been playing hide and go seek for years.
Go on.
But I've never gone back on my word, now have I?
That's right.
And I'm not going to try any tricks. I just want you to come with me to a young lady's apartment.
Oh, now,
Now,
Blackie.
really, I want you to meet two friends of Mr. Williams. And if I can't prove that my story is true, well, I'll go downtown with you. Now, nothing could be fairer than that.
Yeah, sounds all right. But then you can make anything sound okay. You want me to see a gal who'll set me right on this whole thing?
That's right.
Okay, Blackie. I'll give you a chance to square yourself, but remember, this better not be a runaround.
This is the apartment, Inspector. Come on in.
Who is it?
Oh, it's me, June. It's Blackie. I'm here with Inspector Faraday.
Who?
Inspector Faraday.
Wait a minute. I'm coming. Well, hello.
Hello, June. Would you mind telling the inspector about that black market ring that threatened you?
What black market ring?
Well, you know, June.
I'm Miss Parker. And who are you?
That's all, Blackie. I've heard enough.
June. Now, what happened to those two men I left tied up here at your apartment?
Inspector, who is this man?
Don't you know? He says he's a very dear friend of yours.
Why, I've never seen him before in my life. And now, will you excuse me, please?
Okay, Blackie. We made a deal. This gal who was supposed to explain everything claims she never saw you before. Come on, let's go.
No, I can't go with you, Inspector. I've got to find out what this is all about.
Sorry, Blackie. Figure it out while you're waiting trial.
Faraday, will you listen? This girl is lying, and I can prove it. If you give me time.
I'll give you time, Blackie. You're coming with me. And keep your hands where I can see them. Now, come on over here to the telephone. I'm going to get you an escort downtown.
Okay, Inspector, but you're making a great mistake.
According to you, I always make them. So what's the difference? Remember, Blackie, I'm keeping my eye and my gun on you. Get me police headquarters. Blackie, stop playing with that telephone cord. You make me nervous.
I'm not playing with it, Inspector.
Get that wire off my gun, Blackie. Stop you twisting that gun. You're breaking my wrist.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Now let go of the gun.
You're going back on your word.
That's
You're
better.
going back on your word now. You never did that before.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've got to be free to get the head of that black market ring. And put a ring right through his nose. Shorty?
Hey, open up, will you, boss?
Wait a minute. Come in, Shorty. Well, Oh, what are you doing here?
She made me bring her down here to your waterfront hideout, boss.
Well, that's fine. What do you mean she made you?
She came to the apartment and she was crying.
Oh.
Boss, you know I can't stand to see a poor dame cry.
Blackie, you've got to listen to me.
Yeah, I listened to you once.
I know I lied to Inspector Faraday, but I had to.
Well, that's fine. Why don't you tell it to Faraday?
I can't tell Inspector Faraday I lied. I can't.
You can't do this. You can't do that. You sound like the Summer Sisters. Why did you make Shorty bring you down here?
So that I could beg you to please forget all about me and the black market ring.
Oh, well, forgetting about you will be a pleasure.
I don't blame you for feeling that way. But believe me, it's for the good of everyone for you to forget about all this.
Believe you? Are you kidding?
You almost did once.
Yeah, I almost died once, too. And I've no desire to try that again, either.
You wanted to help me when I was in trouble, Blackie. I'm still in trouble. But the only way you can help me now is to drop this whole black market case.
Mm-hmm. And you're the girl I thought was going to help win the war.
Oh, Blackie, please.
June, there's no point in your coming here to see me.
But, George, I didn't even know you were here in the city. And then to find out what you're doing. How in the world did you ever get started on this?
Just why should I explain that to you, June?
I can't understand you. And Dad couldn't either. When you ran away from the ranch 5 years ago, you broke Dad's heart. And not hearing from you after that didn't help any.
I don't see why you should complain. Dad left the ranch to you, didn't he?
Yes, but what else could he do?
But it's worked out all right anyway. You've done a good job, June, raising good cattle. That's helped me in my business.
But black market, George. You call that a business?
I don't go for those names. All I know is I'm making money. And incidentally, Joan, it wasn't in my plans that you should know who I am. And it's your own fault that you do. You got mixed up with this Boston Blackie, and I had something to do about it.
Well, this is convenient, finding the two of you here together.
Boston Blackie.
Blackie.
Well, now who wants to talk first? You, Williams?
I got nothing to say to you, Boston Blackie.
Oh, I see. How about you, June?
I can't tell you anything.
Well, let me tell you then. Williams, you ought to pick smarter stooges. Or I might say you ought to pick a dumb stooge, one who can't talk. You see, Steve talked. With a little persuasion, of course, but he talked. So, Williams, I know that you're really Parker, June's brother.
But, Blackie,
And June, that explains a great deal, too. Of course, you made Faraday very happy by pretending not to know me, but You didn't make me very happy.
Oh, please, Blackie, you've got to listen to me. Look, I didn't know that my brother was going under the name of Williams. And when I found out, I was so stunned, I didn't know what to do. Except I knew I couldn't turn him over to the police. Now I know he deserves to be.
Swell sister I got, huh?
Yes, I think so.
Blackie, you said it was very convenient having two of us here. Well, I think it's very convenient having the two of you here. And this gun is very convenient, too. Put 'em up, both of you.
Georgie, did anyone ever tell you what happens to little boys who play with fire?
Both of you stuck your noses into my business. June always did, and I'm used to that. And anyway, she's my sister, but I don't have to take it from you, Boston Blackie.
Well, you have something there, Georgie. Not to mention the gun. June, would you please leave the room? If I'm right in supposing what your charming brother intends to do with me, it won't be very pretty.
George, you wouldn't.
Now, please, June, do as I say.
But Blackie,
Please, June.
Oh, it's all my fault. I got you into this. I didn't know that... Oh, my own brother. Blackie! Oh, Blackie, I thought...
You know, June, for a man raised on a ranch, your brother isn't very quick on the trigger.
Oh.
Personally, I'm very glad because it gave me a chance to show him his mistake.
Blackie, what did you do to George? Can I see him?
Well, a little later. He's busy right now. You see, he's got 1,000 pounds of steaks hanging in his wholesale plant, and he's looking for one little piece of beef to put on his eye.
Yeah, Blackie, I guess I'll forget about you going back on your word.
Good old inspector. I had a pretty good reason, you know.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, you broke up this black market ring, and I get the credit.
Thanks.
You know, sometimes I find it kind of hard to hate you.
Well, keep trying, Inspector. You know you're much prettier with a worried look on your face.
You know, this thing kind of calls for a celebration, Blackie.
Yeah?
You and I break up a black market gang, and 1 million people can buy beef at reasonable prices. What do you think we ought to do?
Well, let's see, Inspector. How about coming up to the apartment for a home-cooked steak dinner?
Shall I bring anything?
Yes. Points.
Boston Blackie will be back in just a moment with an interesting preview of next week's program. Meanwhile, let's see now. There are the dishes, the floors, the woodwork, the tiles, sink, windows. Hey, I could keep this up for hours. Listing the jobs that Rinso will make easier for you. Yes, those same soapy rich suds that are such a help when it comes to washing clothes are great for all the soap and water jobs around the house. So be sure to get Rinso tomorrow, ladies, for dishes, housework, and to keep you singing through wash day like this.
Rinso white, happy little wash day song. Rinso white, birdies sing it all day long. Your fine feathered friend has a message to send, so listen, you can't go wrong. Rinso white, happy little wash day song.
Yeah, Matthews, yeah, I know the guy's dead. You said that. Now listen, did you find the gun?
Sure, we found it. It was hooked up inside the radio. When the guy turned the set on, it fired the gun.
I get it. Hey, was the telephone receiver off the hook?
Sure, when we broke down the door... Hey, Inspector, how could you know that?
Just so happens that's the way a guy was killed at a play I've been watching. Somebody lifted the idea, and I've got an idea who that somebody was.
Yeah? Who, Inspector?
The man who's backing this play, a fellow by the name of Boston Blackie.
Tough luck, ladies. I mean about choice cuts of lamb going back on rationing. Means you've got to be smarter than ever at figuring ways to fix the meals your families want, especially since you don't have as many points as you used to. Well, the smartest thing to do is to get extra points by turning in waste fats. You know, your meat dealer will give you cash and 2 red points for every pound you turn in. So get going. You'll be doing yourself a favor and your country an important service. For used fats are urgently needed for military medicines, armaments, and a host of things so necessary to win this war. Strain every drop into any tin can, no glass containers, please, and turn them in as soon as you have a pound. Be sure to listen at this same time next week for another exciting adventure with Boston Blackie. You can see Chester Morris as Boston Blackie on the screen at your favorite movie theater. Boston Blackie's latest Columbia picture is One Mysterious Night, soon to be released. Richard Lane appears as Inspector Faraday. Music by Charles Cornell. This is Harlow Wilcox saying goodnight for Boston Blackie, brought to you by the makers of Rinso, the soap that gets clothes.
And don't forget, tomorrow, when you ask your grocer for the new Rinso, buy a cake of Lifebuoy at the same time. Lifebuoy's rich, purifying lather goes right after dirt and perspiration, leaves you feeling extra clean. So use Lifebuoy daily in your bath or shower. Remember, it's the only soap especially made to stop BO.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
That was Boston Blackie with Black Market Blackie, as originally heard July 21st, 1944. We're going to take a quick break, but stick around. We have The Adventures of Phillip Marlowe when Classic Radio Rewind returns right after these messages.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Classic Radio Rewind. I'm Barry Slinker, and we have coming up next The Adventures of Phillip Marlowe, starring Gerald Moore as Raymond Chandler's tough-as-nails private eye. In this episode, Marlowe's friend is in trouble with a gambling debt and with a woman and blackmail. From May 14th, 1949, this is The Adventures of Phillip Marlowe with the Promise to Pay.
It was only a gambler's marker, a promise to pay worth $1,000. And I was hired to find it, which sounded easy, until I realized that it meant the whole future to two men, freedom to a third, and death to the girl in the cottage.
From the pen of Raymond Chandler, outstanding author of crime fiction, comes his most famous character in The Adventures of Phillip Marlowe. Now, with Gerald Moore, starred as Phillip Marlowe, we bring you tonight's exciting story, The Promise to Pay.
It started over a bottle of port at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when Mama Nodella, a proud old lady who ran a restaurant, bet me I couldn't prepare a dish of chicken cacciatore. I never pass up a bet. So at 5:30, I picked up a can of chicken, and at 6 had gone to work on it. At 7:15, everything was ready for the pan, and my enthusiasm was at a high ebb until the telephone rang. And what I thought was a check call from Mama Nodella turned out instead to be Garfield Randall. He was a used-to-be client who at 32 was currently setting the L.A. business world on its ear.
Say, Harlow, did you see the article about me in this morning's paper?
Young Randall, probably next head of Continental Land and Trust?
Yes, that's it.
Chairman of the board, isn't it, Gar?
Yes. Job I've been after for 2 years.
So?
Well, it's a job that'll go to somebody else at noon tomorrow, Phil. Unless you can get me out of a nasty mess I'm in.
What's her name?
Terry... How did you know it was a woman,
It's a
Phil?
trade secret. What do you want me to do?
Well, come over here to my place, 91 Laurel Canyon, immediately. I'll explain then. You can make it, can't you, Phil? I mean, now, right away?
Yeah, I guess so. Right away, Gar. But it hurts. Arrivederci, cacciatore.
Oh, come in, Marlowe, quickly. I'm due there at 8, and it's almost that now.
Small point, Gar, but just where is there?
Oh, Terry Dodge's cottage over in the valley, 3840 Sunsweat Drive, just beyond Arthur Murray's place on Ventura. I'm expected because the lady wants $20,000 to keep her mouth shut.
About what?
The fact that a few days ago, an innocent evening with some new friends ended up with me gambling and losing $1,000 at Paul Naylor's club on Lancashire Boulevard, also in the valley, 3100 North. I didn't have the cash on me, so he took my IOU.
Your marker would interest who in particular?
Only the entire board of directors of Continental Land and Trust. They feel their executives should be above that sort of thing, even once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And this Terry Dodge, can she prove that you lost $1,000 gambling?
Well, according to this message here, yes. Came a few minutes before I called you, together with my picture, which she returned, frame and all. Here.
Oh. God, dear, I gave Naylor the $1,000 and pick up your note as requested. But now I'm confused. Do I give it back to you or submit it to your board of directors tomorrow? Oh, by the way, the chinchilla we saw last week is on sale. I hear only $20,000 if bought right away. Probably cost more tomorrow.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Drop around and see me at 8 tonight, will you? I'd like your advice on the matter. Much love, Terry. P.S. Don't worry about the safety of the note, darling. I have the perfect hiding place for it. Tender, huh? Tell me, Gar, how close were you and this vampire?
Oh, we went together for about a year, but it was getting cold.
Because you've been on the way up?
Because she's been on the way down, Marlowe.
Why'd you give her the money to deliver in the first place?
Well, you see, Phil, I couldn't afford to go near a gambler like Paul Naylor once I'd been nominated for the chairmanship. Of course, I didn't suspect for a minute that Terry would do anything like this. So when I didn't hear from Terry by 6, I called Naylor. He told me that she had already delivered the money, but he also told me that she'd burned the note in front of him at his suggestion.
Which might mean that Terry Dodge is just bluffing, you know.
Yes, or that Paul Naylor is just lying. Your job, Phil, is to find out the truth as soon as possible.
And if I do and the note does exist, what then, Gar?
Then I pay. I have to. It's my whole future.
Yeah. Call you in an hour, Gar, from the valley. After Randall generously settled the matter of my fee with 2 crisp $100 bills, I got into my car and wound through Laurel Canyon into the San Fernando Valley and Sunswept Drive, where I parked away from number 3840, which was the kind of all-alone green and white ivy-choked cottage that life insurance ads wonder if you'll own when you're 65 and out of work. With one exception. The place was lit up like opening night at a Hollywood delicatessen. And when I got close to the front door, which was half open and splashing bright yellow over the mat-marked welcome, I heard a radio from someplace deep inside, playing slow, sad swing. When I knocked twice and got only more Dixieland for an answer, I walked in, calling Terry Dodge's name out loud as I moved through the empty living room. I couldn't tell why, but even as I said the name, I had the uncomfortable feeling that I was wasting my breath. And a minute later, when I entered the bedroom, I was sure of it. Because there, every drawer, closet, and cubbyhole had been turned inside out. And in the middle of all that, and face up on the carpet, was the still form of a beautiful blonde woman in a black silk hostess gown. The monogram in white over her breast pocket said she was Terry Dodge. The ugly circle of dark red on the side of her head said she was dead. Next to her body, I found the pieces of 2 airline tickets for Mexico City. Beyond that, the brass candelabra that had killed her. I dropped the tickets into my pocket and then went back to the living room and a telephone called my client. But when I reached for it, it went off. Hello?
Hello, who is this?
Friend of the family, why?
Oh, I'm curious by nature, friend of the family. Now, is Terry there?
Yeah. She can't come to the phone right now. Any message?
Yeah, there is. Tell her Rip Stranigan wants to talk to, if you don't mind.
I don't. Oh, Terry, it's Rip Stranigan. What? Okay. Sorry, Stranigan. She'll have to call you back in a minute and...
And what?
And excuse me, but an unexpected visitor just dropped in. A beautiful one at that. With a gun.
Which she knows how to use very well.
The lady was tall with dark eyes and darker hair that framed her face the color of warm honey, and she was wearing something white and plunging, which from the waist up had all the material in it of the average necktie.
Who are you?
Rip Stranigan. Mean anything?
Only that you're a liar. I've seen Stranigan, and in the first place, Terry's boyfriend's an ex-football player about twice your size.
Oh?
Also, he's from Texas, and you couldn't be.
No.
And just between us, you're much better looking. So once more, who are you?
Little boy Blue, who are you?
Me? Well, I'm Annabelle, Terry's sister.
Always come home with a .38 in your hand?
Well, I only used this gun, Mr. Blue, because I thought you were a prowler. Now, with the radio off so you can concentrate, how about the truth,
All right. I'm a private detective named Phillip Marlowe. Came here to talk to Terry Dodge. When I found the door open and nobody home, I decided to wait. Now, I can't wait any longer because I'm late for an appointment. So if you'll tell Terry I called, I'll appreciate it. Good night, Annabelle.
Wait a minute before you go, one thing.
What's that?
You were wrong about being little boy Blue.
Oh?
You're prettier. Good night.
My ego sent the lady went for me. But my professional cynicism labeled her local Matahari and suggested that I keep both feet on the ground. So when I was out of her sight at the front door, I tried the oldest trick in the book, which was opening it and then slamming it hard from the inside, which worked. Because when I quietly moved back to where we'd been standing, she was already in the bedroom. And I was glad to hear, surprised at what she'd found there. When she ran back into the living room, her face now the color of wet ashes, grabbed for the telephone and dialed a number that was more than the 3 digits that would bring the police.
Hello?
I was close enough to hear what she
This
said.
is Maxine. She's dead. Yes, in her bedroom, and the place has been turned upside down. So somebody else is after that note, too. No, only a private detective named Marlowe. Well, he didn't act like it, said he was waiting for her. I'll tell you all about it later when I see... What? Keep looking. Listen, maybe you didn't understand me. Terry Dodge is dead. She's been murdered. Well, Maxine Rossi doesn't want to be standing around with jam on her face when the police arrive. It's hard on the reputation. Well, all right, one more look around, but believe me, it'll be a fast one. Goodbye.
When she hung up and inched back toward the bedroom like it was a snake pit, I headed for the door and kept going until I was outside and over to where I'd left my car parked in the shadow of a huddle of dwarf palms. But then as I was about to get in, what I thought was just another tree reached out with both hands, grabbed me by the lapels, and slammed me hard against the side of my own car. Before I could get back onto my feet, what had to be the ex-gridiron great from Texas had both my gun and my wallet out and was smiling with more teeth than I'd ever seen before.
Well, the friend of the family is a private detective, I see.
Yeah, and the athlete's a scholar. He reads.
Shut up, Marlowe. Smart aleck talk won't get you out of this. Now, what were you doing in my girl's apartment?
Looking for a blackmailer named Terry Dodge. And before you get all worked up, Muscles, make up your mind. You want the truth or hot air out of me?
You got a lot of nerve, fella.
Doesn't answer the question.
All right. I'll take the truth. But if it's anything but that, I'll break you in two. Now start talking. Why'd you call Terry a blackmailer?
Because until tonight she was up to a mascara and a deal that called for a man named Garfield Randall to pay her $20,000 to keep his future intact.
I don't believe you. I never heard her speak that name.
Proves the point, Stranigan. They've been going together off and on for a year now.
What? Why, just last night, Terry told me that she didn't even want to see any other man.
And as of last night, that might have been the truth. Because a few hours ago, this Randall got his framed picture back from her with interest.
The demand for the $20,000?
The same. Stranigan, what would you say if I told you Terry Dodge has been murdered?
No, Marlowe!
Let go!
You're lying!
Stranigan, let go of my throat!
Lying!
His throat, do you hear? Let go! Go.
I'm sorry, fella. Do you have any idea who did it?
Yeah, but there's still a little groundwork to be done before I go to the police.
You mean nobody knows about this yet?
Outside of a girl named Maxine Rossi, someone she talked to on the telephone, and the murderer, no. Now tell me, Stranigan, did you ever hear Terry speak of either this Rossi girl or a gambling note that a guy named Paul Naylor held?
No, I didn't, Marlowe. But where do those two fit in?
That, Stranigan, comes under the heading of groundwork. Now, if you can keep all this under your sombrero until you hear from me again, I'll take my gun and wallet and get going. What do you say?
I say yes. On one condition, Marlowe. When you do get to the killer, I'll get first crack at him.
Fair enough. Now, where can I reach you?
4812 North Ogden Drive. You think you'll need any help?
I don't know. Paul Naylor's my next stop, and according to the talk downtown, he's a hard man to get next to. I'll call you later. The club Paul Naylor ran out on North Lancashire didn't have a name, but the numbers 3100 were taped with luminous Scotch light. Easy to find. However, unless you knew the man behind the peephole, you were nowhere. So 20 minutes later, when I was out of my car and walking toward the steel-plated back door, I decided that getting in to see the head man of the house had to be approached like that was the last thing in the world I wanted to do. I stayed in the shadows of the building, moved a slow step at a time, until I saw a little oily man in a pink shirt, white knit tie, and fuzzy black fedora nearby notice me. Then I moved faster until I was at the steel door, and so was he, with a .45 in his hand.
Lost something, mister?
No. I was, what's the gun for?
Trespassers. These are private grounds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I'll leave right away. I thought this was
Never mind what you thought. Now get over there, stand very still while I make a phone call the inside.
Phone call? What for, cops?
No, stupid. The gentleman who lives here, Mr. Paul Naylor. I think he'd like to talk to you while you can still talk.
In just a moment, the second act of Phillip Marlowe. But first, a man who knows something about cars makes a better driver than a man who's completely blank about what's underneath the hood. And in the same way, a man who knows something about our American economic system is able to be a better citizen than a man who hasn't any idea at all about what makes the wheels go around. Understanding our system of mass production enables one to feel renewed pride in the high standard of living this kind of production has helped provide. And it's understanding, too, that enables us to work at some of our system's defects, like sharp ups and downs in prices and jobs. So read, study, listen. And with all of us working together, we can increase our productivity still further and provide for even wider distribution of benefits. Now, with our star, Gerald Moore, we return to the second act of Phillip Marlowe and tonight's story, The Promise to Pay.
The oily burly little man in a pink silk shirt spoke briefly into the phone, then breathed garlic in my face while his free hand darted neatly inside my jacket. When it came out, it brought my .38 with it. Then he jerked me around, unlocked the heavy back door, shoved me through, and marched me on the business end of his .45 down a strip of blue carpet ankle deep to another door of glossy blonde mahogany. He slammed me face first up against it, and then signaled for an audience. When the door swung open, he prodded me, and I stumbled into an office of jungle green drapes and pale beige furniture upholstered in leopard skin. The face that peered at me over 8 feet of desktop smiled, from the ears down. From the ears up, it had never known what smiling meant.
We have a front door for our friends.
I know. That's why I went to the back. I figured I'd pick up an escort there and bypass all that muscular red tape you keep out in front.
Maybe that's smart figuring, maybe not. Depends. What do you want?
Call you a liar, Naylor.
Oh!
Mind your manners, stupid. You're way out of line.
You're building up quite an account, Oily.
You take some long chances, mister. What's your name?
Marlowe. I still want to know why you lied to a friend of mine about burning his marker.
Marlowe, huh? Wait outside, Quincy. I'll call you.
Okay, Mr. Naylor.
All right, Marlowe. So you're Randall's boy, right?
I've talked to him. When Randall called you, you told him that his girl, Terry Dodge, had delivered the money okay, but that you saw her burn his marker.
That's what I thought I saw at the time.
What'd you really see?
She put the marker in her purse and started out of here, but I called her back and told her to burn it.
Why?
Because I don't like my name floating around, Marlowe, especially now with things tightened up like they are. So she went over to the fireplace there and burned a piece of paper.
But it wasn't the note, huh?
Bright boy. That call from Randall gave me ideas. I checked the pieces left in the fireplace, and they weren't even the same kind of paper as the marker. So somebody's shooting an angle, Marlowe, one with my name on it. I don't like that.
I suppose you got the marker back all right.
Not yet. However, I intend to.
Mm-hmm. But on your first try, you got too rough too fast. And killed Terry before she'd talk, is that it?
You know, if I were you, I'd bite my tongue off before I'd say a thing like that. Even joking.
Who's joking? Girl's been murdered your way.
Smart people die every day. Lots of ways.
Yes, well, thanks for the information. Good night.
Sit down.
Wait a minute, Naylor. The interview's over.
Not quite. What's Randall steamed up about?
Blackmail, which puts you both in the same boat. If I get the marker to protect him, I have to protect you at the same time for no extra charge. Let's be sensible.
Sensible? Okay. Quincy?
Yeah, Mr. Naylor?
I'm going out. Sit on Marlowe here. Real hard if necessary, till I get back.
Sure. It'll be a pleasure, won't it, Mr. Marlowe?
Oily straightened his tie and sat down opposite me, humming to himself. Then he unfolded a racing form, tilted his chair back, and apparently forgot about me. He was a perfect setup for a very old gag, because the 2 back legs of his chair were perched on the far edge of a green hook rug that I could reach easily. His eyes okayed my request to light a smoke, and then he dropped my matches. When I bent down to get them, I grabbed the rug instead and yanked hard.
Couldn't resist, could you, sucker? I'm faster than I look.
Come on, I should have known.
Well, 100%. Now I got an excuse to work you over.
Wait a minute. Naylor will want to talk to me when he gets back, Stooge.
You'll be able to talk, only maybe you won't think so good. Get back there in the corner. Go on, move. That's it. Now turn around and face the wall.
He kept the .45 pointed at my middle, even while he shifted it to his left hand. Then he dipped his right into the side pocket and brought it out, clenched around an ugly set of brass knucks. There was a tight knot in the pit of my stomach as he started toward me. I just made up my mind to try for his gun regardless when I heard it. When I turned and looked, Oily was sprawled face down on the floor and sprinkled with chunks of shattered crockery, and standing over him like a victorious gladiator was Maxine Rossi.
Marlowe, I came as soon as I found out you were in here. He is so vicious, this Quincy.
Not at the moment, baby, thanks to you. But I don't get it.
There's no
How did
time
you...
for talk now. Come to the roulette table as soon as you can. Hurry, darling.
I watched her slip through a side door. Then rolled Quincy over, got my gun back in its holster, and all of 7 seconds later went out through the same side door. It opened into a lush room, 50 by 50, checkerboarded with people bunched around evenly spaced gaming tables. I moved toward the click of a roulette wheel and found Maxine there throwing blue chips around with a subtle recklessness that meant she had a fortune to squander or that she was a shill for Naylor.
Place your bets, please.
How's your luck, baby? Still holding?
Uh-huh. It is so far. But it may change any instant now.
Yeah, well, I guess it's my turn then. Come on, I'll pick up some chips. 10 black.
Marlowe, we gotta get you out of here.
You work for Naylor, don't you, Maxie?
Yes, but not like I'd work for you, Marlowe.
Oh? He sent you up to Terry Dodge's place tonight. Find out what you wanted with that marker. And it was Naylor you called when you found Terry's body, huh?
Yeah. He just left Marlowe not a minute ago. 50-00.
Where was he heading?
I don't know, but one of those scraps of paper that wasn't burned in the fireplace. There was a telephone number of a travel agency on it. He had that with him.
A travel agency?
Yeah.
That might be the one shot I need. Listen, Maxie, Uh-oh. The boys have got me pegged. They're moving in.
I was afraid of this. Wait till the lights go out, darling, and then run for it.
The lights. Baby, I love you. What about you, Maxie?
Don't worry, my father was a longshoreman in San Francisco. I'll know how to get
11 black.
She walked slowly as far as the back corridor, then started to run, and as the two gorillas angled toward the room toward me, I pretended to study the odds on the crap table while I edged for the door. They were almost up to me when the room went suddenly black. Atta girl, Maxie. I ducked low and belted for the front entrance, all stops open. And a few seconds later, I was outside. I put 50 yards between me and the front porch before I so much as slowed down. When I did, I saw something else. Paul Naylor himself across the street just getting into his car. I pulled my gun out and ran for him. Hey, Naylor!
Marlowe, how did you get... Say, what's going on?
I want that phone number you got in your pocket.
Phone number? I don't know what you're talking about.
That's too bad, because I don't have time to explain. It was 5 minutes and all of 5 miles later when I stopped at a gas station and climbed into a phone booth to call the travel agency number on a half-burned piece of paper that I'd taken from Paul Naylor. I was sure now that at least I'd get an answer to fit the 2 airline tickets to Mexico City. But the girl who answered the phone exploded that dream with her opening line.
Good evening, Canadian and Northern Railway Agency.
Canada. It didn't make sense. On a hunch, I shot a girl the description of Terry Dodge and hit pay dirt on the first try. A woman who matched it had made a reservation that afternoon to leave for Canada at midnight alone. But then the girl asked me a question. And the answer to that made my next stop my client as fast as I could get there. The drive into Laurel Canyon and up the twisting trail they call the road put some new gray in my hair. But before I got to Randall's house, I pulled over, parked, and climbed the rest of the way quietly on foot. A long brown convertible that wasn't Randall's squatted under the bushes beside the house. I crossed the patio and went in through an open window.
That's what I said, Randall.
I could hear voices, so I inched along the back hall to an open study door and listened.
And don't try anything cute, buddy, or I'll break you in two, and I mean it. Well, what do you say? Give me the money and I'll give you that marker.
Well, How do I know you've got the marker? Where did you get it?
I killed that double-crossing girlfriend of ours, sweet Miss Terry Dodge, to get it. That's where.
What? You mean Terry's dead?
Yeah. We were pulling this deal together and then going to Mexico. But she got greedy, was going to get the money and take off for Canada alone. So now I'm doing it alone. Get the dough, Randall. Time's short.
Wait, I want to see the marker first.
Well, sure. Hand me that picture there. That's right, pretty boy. The one Terry sent back to you today. Well, come on.
All right. Here.
Thanks.
Hey, what are you... What? The marker. It was behind my picture all the time.
Yeah, Terry was real smart. And so was that blabbermouth Marlowe. He tipped me off to the whole thing when he told me Terry sent this back to you today. The marker wasn't anyplace else, so it had to be here. And here it is, Randall. All yours. For 20 grand.
No, I won't pay it. I'd have paid Terry blackmail for that note, but I won't shield the killer.
All right, Randall, have it your way. But I'm walking out that front door, and that means I gotta leave you dead on the floor.
Randall, duck!
Not this time, Marlowe!
Oh, Marlowe, that was awfully close.
Never mind that. Come on, let's get him.
Oh, you missed him.
Yeah, stay here. I'll get him. Oh, my car. I left it halfway down the hill. He'll be 10 miles away the way he's driving before I can get to it.
Well, he's got to be good to drive those roads that fast.
Yeah.
Phil. He went over. He was going too fast to get around your car. He went over.
Yeah. And if anybody ever had it coming, it was Rip Stranigan. All American. By the time we got down to the crash, the canyon was swarming with people. An ambulance and 2 prowl cars whined in, and 30 minutes later, the mess was all cleaned up. The police verdict was speed on a dangerous road, and the doctor's forecast was DOA. So Randall and I went back to his place and spent another 30 minutes over some much-needed brandy, Well, I told him everything that had happened.
Great Scott. And it seemed like such a simple thing, Phil.
Mhm.
Pay a gambling debt and get the marker.
Yeah.
It's hard to realize all this happened just because of that.
Well, that plus the fact that you let a pair of nasty characters get you in a spot.
Yeah. It's also hard to believe that they're both dead now and it's all over.
Mm.
And you did a wonderful job, Phil.
I had some wonderful help from Miss Maxine Rossi. There's a kid with lots on the ball, believe me.
Say, do you think she got away from Naylor all right?
With her talent, you can count on it. But just to play safe, I'm going to let Mr. Naylor know it's hands off, or I'll see his joint ripped wide open.
I'd sure like to help, but I've just sown my last untamed oat.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you're in good shape now. Boys at headquarters are reasonable. I'll run along and tell them what they need to know.
Okay. Oh, Phil, just one thing first. When you called the agency, the Canadian Railway, you said the girl there asked you a question, and that's why you came up here so fast. What did she say?
Oh. She wanted to know if I was the tall gentleman from Texas with the nice teeth who had inquired earlier about the ladies' reservations. Then he got all upset, which, of course, could only mean Rip Stranigan. And that explained the tickets from Mexico, the murder, the ransacked house, and all the rest of it.
Oh, I see.
You know, the more I think about it, Gar, the luckier you get. Good night. Happy board meetings. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. And the thought of my kitchen littered with dead chicken, raw rice, and the jumble of spices practically turned my stomach until I opened my apartment door. And then, one step at a time, I got it. The delicious odor of chicken, gacciatore, cooked to perfection. The sight of a gleaming table set in candlelight. The sound of a cork being pulled from a bottle of wine. And all done in a fine Italian hand. The hand of a longshoreman's daughter from San Francisco. And then, a startling idea hit me. You know, if Maxine Rossi could only... But she can. You know this is dangerous? Oh, brother.
The Adventures of Phillip Marlowe, created by Raymond Chandler, star Gerald Moore, and are produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Script is by Mel Donnelly, Robert Mitchell, and Gene Levitt. Featured in the cast were Bill Johnstone, Betty Lou Gerson, Barney Phillips, John Daner, and Jack Crucian. The special music is by Richard O'Runt. Be sure to be with us again next week when Phillip Marlowe says...
When it started, the tide was high on the San Pedro waterfront, and a hot-tempered kid had murder on his mind. But there was a knife at my throat, a beating under the piers, and a corpse on the beach before the tide went out again. And the kid was finally stopped.
Just about an hour from now, most of these same CBS network stations will bring you the hour-long Sing It Again program, a CBS Saturday night favorite, and the show with radio's biggest jackpot. Of course, tonight the jackpot's down to only $50,000 because last week somebody guessed the identity of the Phantom voice. Still, $50,000 isn't hay. $25,000 is invaluable prizes for correctly guessing the new Phantom's identity. Then there's an additional $25,000, this time in cold cash, if the Phantom guesser can answer just one more question about the Phantom. There'll be other prizes, too, for cracking one of the many delightful riddle songs. So be sure to stick around for Sing It Again. This is Roy Rowan speaking. Now, listen to Gangbusters, which follows immediately over most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That was The Adventures of Phillip Marlowe with The Promise to Pay, as originally heard May 14th, 1949. A friendly programming reminder for our old-time Radio USA station. Our Sherlock Holmes All-Day Marathon is over a week away on April 26th. Starting at 6 a.m. Eastern, you can spend the entire day solving mysteries with the world's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. Get ready to wander the foggy streets of London from the comfort of your couch as we bring you classic episodes featuring legendary voices like Basil Rathbone, Tom Conway, Sir John Gielgud, Orson Welles, and more. You won't want to miss iconic tales like The Hound of the Baskervilles and A Scandal in Bohemia. So, mark your calendars, set a reminder, because you will not want to miss this day of exciting detective adventures. And the best part? It's 100% free, no sign-ups, no hassle. Just click and listen. Tune in only on Old Time Radio USA, where classic old-time radio programming plays all day, every day. And with that, brings this week's Classic Radio Rewind to a close. Head over to the WOTR Radio Network website or mobile app to continue listening to more of your old-time radio favorites. Next week, we have a 2-part double feature from Escape, so make sure you click subscribe to be notified of new Classic Radio Rewind episodes. So until next week, for Classic Radio Rewind and the WOTR Radio Network, this is Barry Slinker saying goodbye for now.
Classic Radio Rewind is a production of the WOTR Radio Network. For more Classic Radio Rewind, and to listen to any of the WOTR Radio Network stations, go to www.wotrradionetwork.com.